Hello and bonjour everyone. This is our 11th video and a second part in our negation series. But before moving forward, as usual, we will begin with our proverbe du jour. Pour aujourd'hui, notre proverbe du jour, c'est on apprend de ses erreurs. On apprend de ses erreurs. We learn by our mistakes, or one learns by his or her mistakes, errors. On apprend de ses erreurs. But then, if we read them by connecting the sounds, how would it be? On apprend de ses erreurs, right? On apprend de ses erreurs. Okay, great. We move forward. So, as I have already promised that we will see what all we have done so far. The things that we have done so far in this series are, this is the 11th video, by the way, and the second part in the negation series, right? So we have done, we started it from the sounds and pronunciations. Then we learned the concept of this is and these are to begin with. We did ER ending verbs, and to let you know that there are more two types of endings, that is IR ending and RE ending. And of course, then there are other types of verbs, for example, the pronominal, etc. Those we will cover in the coming videos, because first I want to build a very solid base. Then we have done possessive adjectives, which is my or his. En français, c'est quoi? Mon, ma, mes, son, ça, c'est. Oui. Then we did connectors. What are connectors? And, therefore, does, so, donc, alors, puis. Okay. Then we did asking questions. What are asking questions? How do you ask questions? Like interrogations. And afterwards, we did the negatives. We started with negatives in our previous video, which is the part 1. And this one is part 2 of the negations. There will be 3 parts in total, but this is the second part. We will see some exceptions, right? Let me quickly share my slideshow with you guys. Attendez un peu, s'il vous plaît. Oui. Okay, so before moving on to these exceptions in the negative sentences, just a quick recap. And of course, the sentences that we discussed for you to practice the last time. The English version you can find in the previous video. So the French version that you were supposed to do should be like this. Nous ne regardons pas la télé. Remember what we do? We put ne and pas before and after the conjugated verb. So we do not watch the television. Il ne travaille pas le dimanche. He doesn't work on Sunday. So in French, we don't say on Sunday, we say the Sunday, le dimanche. And that would automatically mean on Sunday, on Monday, or on any other day. The last sentence was, il ne joue pas au foot. They do not play football. Then you may certainly ask or question what this O is. So these little things are some concepts that we will do, moving forward. Okay, but before that, we will see some basic exceptions in the negative sentences. अब exceptions क्या होती हैं? Exceptions are those things that are an exception to a general rule, right? So we will see. English में भी बहुत से exceptions होते हैं, हिंदी में भी होते हैं, but uh, we do not really get worried about them, because we sort of mug the sentences, right? We cram the sentences, we cram the structure entirely. But of course, since we are learning a new language, this is our second language for most of us, third for me, then we will see. How do we go about it? So in French, the first exception, les exceptions aux négations, c'est quoi? Le premier. In French, un, une, des. Remember what un, une, des is? Un, une, des is simply a in English, right? Un is for masculine noun, une is for feminine noun, des is for plural. If at all you're facing any confusion, you can always go back to previous videos. Is these un, une, des is not used in negative sentences, then what do we use? Let's see. So, je ne plante pas un arbre. Je ne plante pas un arbre, right? So I do not plant a tree. So this is a wrong sentence. Although by basic general understanding, we will do this way only. But then this is incorrect as per French grammar because they don't say I do not plant a tree. They just simply say I do not plant a tree, right? So what they do is je ne plante pas de arbre. We put a the here, but then why apostrophe? Because a was a vowel. So in short, whenever you find a yun de in a sentence and you want to convert that sentence into negative, you replace the a yun de by de or d apostrophe in case of vowels, de ou d'apostrophe. On remplace un une de par de ou d'apostrophe dans une phrase négative. Ah oui? Ok. Oh, donc, la phrase affirmative, ça veut dire quoi? The affirmative sentence or positive sentence, right? So, il traverse une rue. So, he crosses a road. All these, the verbs that I'm using so far, I've been using so far, these are all ER ending verbs, right? Okay. So, the negative sentence for this would be, il ne traverse pas de rue. See how yun changes to the. So यहाँ ना the का कोई ऐसे meaning नहीं है. We do not need to find out the meaning of the here because the is more of a balancer. You can say it's something that balances the whole sentence, right? क्योंकि फ्रेंच में अगर आप the का meaning देखने जाएंगे तो you may get confused because it has got an entirely different meaning. But अभी के लिए what we are understanding is wherever there is an ayunde in a sentence, you replace it by the if you convert that sentence into a negative sentence, or simply when you're using a negative sentence, we don't use ayunde. We use the in that place, right? Okay. But uh, there is a little change in the exception, we can say. So, but whenever the verb être comes into a picture, there is no change, right? It stays normal, similar to what we have learned so far. So, être verb हमने अभी इस series में नहीं किया है, but we will cover it later on. But for the sake of understanding, this is the verb être. Je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, elle est, vous êtes, ils, elles sont. Je suis un homme. Je ne suis pas un homme. See, remains same. There is no change. But if we go to the previous slide, there is a change because it's a different verb, right? So in general, for any verb, we do not use un, yun, de in a negative sentence. But if the verb is être, which is of course will be understandable with the help of the conjugation, that would be here. So je ne suis pas un homme. I'm not a man in that sense. Okay. Okay. Pour s'entraîner bien, for better practice, je ne range pas de chambre. Remember, I do not arrange or I do not set up a room. So although इसमें हमने अ कहीं लगाया नहीं है बट इंग्लिश में हम सेंटेंस करेक्ट ही बोलते हैं, हम ऐसा ही बोलते हैं, बट फ्रेंच में je ne range pas de chambre. Next, elle n'est pas une célébrité because this is the verb être यहाँ पे, therefore une célébrité will be correct. बट यहाँ पे अगर ए नहीं होता est और कोई और वर्ब होता तब यहाँ पे यून नहीं आता, राइट? je ne mange pas de pomme. I do not eat apple. अब यहाँ पे या यून या दे नहीं आ सकता था because the verb is mange in a normal scenario. Nous ne sommes pas une équipe. But then again, the verb être comes into the picture and yun stays same. Okay. For better understanding, so that कोई confusion ना create हो, I'll quickly write down the verb être. This is how it would look like. Je suis, tu es, and then il, elle, est, then nous sommes, then vous êtes. अच्छा, you may question कि जब être verb है, but in the previous videos we have learned that we do not use helping verbs like is am are हम use नहीं करते, और être का तो मतलब ही is am are है. He, I am, you are, he, she is, we are, you are, they are, है ना? So in French, être verb or is am are वाला verb is only used when we are using some adjectives. For example, I'm saying I am intelligent, then I will say je suis intelligent, right? But then we will do it in great detail, right? बट अभी तो हमारा नेगेटिव वाला है, तो ये मैंने इसलिए लिखा है सो दैट किसी को कंफ्यूजन ना हो देखते समय. Okay, so in general, what we do is we put the in place of ayunde in a negative sentence. But if there is the verb être, which looks like this, then we do not use the, we just simply use ayunde as it is in a negative sentence, right? Okay. This is for you. C'est pour vous. These are some positive sentences. I would like you to try to convert these sentences to the negative form. Just say, for example, the first one is Vous chantez une chanson. You sing a song. Il organise une fête. He organizes a party. Tu plantes un arbre. You are planting a tree. Elle est une femme. She's a lady. Although these kind of sentences may be very funny for some people, but then, of course, this is just for practice. Je suis un étudiant. I am a student. So this is how we see these sentences, right? This is for you to practice. Merci beaucoup. If there is some doubt, please feel free to comment or to mail me directly, and I'll also put my WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp me there. Not an issue about that, right? Thank you very much. If you follow these videos from the beginning, you will find it easy. If you're seeing it just from this part, I would recommend you go back and see from the series one, because I'm trying to create a long series that is useful for the TCF and the DELF and other kind of French exams, or somebody who just is willing to learn a new language, right? Merci beaucoup. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next video. This was video 11th, and then we'll go to the 12th one and we'll see the part 3 of negations. Thank you. Have a great day.